So today we are looking at the Nobara 40 GNOME desktop environment. So I already made the KDE themed version and the plain KDE Plasma desktop environment of Nobara 40. So if you want to watch these videos, you can watch those videos. So this is the GNOME desktop environment of Nobara 40. So let's quickly boot it in a live boot. And I'm running it on a virtual machine, which is a VMware with 60 GB of hard disk, 8 GB of RAM, and my CPU is i5 1240p. So there is some disclaimer about my misspeaking and some mistakes will be in the video because I'm going to keep the video as raw as possible to give the best content. So there will be some mistakes and misspeakings, so try to ignore all those things. I hope you understand that. So the booting process will take like a 2 to 3 minutes in my PC. So I'm not going to keep that video. I'm going to trim that part only, that booting process. I'm going to trim the 2 or 3 minutes section, and I'm going to keep everything as raw as possible so you can get every information correctly. So I'm going to trim that part. So here is the desktop environment loaded. So it took like a 2.5 minutes or 3 minutes to load up the desktop layout. So let's quickly change the display resolution. Before that, let's open the system monitor. So it automatically changed the display settings. Let's open the system monitor and see how much of resources it consumes. So remember that I'm running it on a virtual machine and this is a live boot. So let's see how much of resources it's consuming. So the KDE Plasma videos are already available in my channel. If you want to check that out, you can check that out and decide whatever the desktop environment you want to use. The GNOME version or the plain KDE Plasma version or the themed KDE Plasma version. So you get the welcome screen of the installer or the installation first. So I'm going to keep that like that, and let's see how much of resources it consumes. So these are all the processes running right now. So in the beginning I didn't change anything. Even the display settings was set by automatically in the VMware. So here is the system resources. Memory is almost 1.8 GB and the CPU is almost 80-90%. So some of my viewers said you need to use it on the bare metal or in the hardware. You need to install the Nobara project on the hard disk and you need to see how much of resources it consumes. But I'm using a lot of resources here. I'm using 8 GB of RAM and my CPU is i5 1240p. So it's based on the Fedora, or it's done by Fedora, and most of the other Linux distros will be running smoothly, but in this case the Nobara project will be consuming a lot of resources. So and you can see the browser will be consuming a lot of resources in two of the desktop environments of KDE plain and the themed KDE version. So the Firefox was consuming a lot of resources, so that's the reason the CPU was almost 100% throughout my videos. So I don't know what is the issue. You need to find it on your own and try to run it on the live boot first and then go with the installation. So here is the about Calamares installer. I'm going to close the installation first. Let's go to the official website and the downloads process. Let me open the Firefox web browser. So I'm going to keep the CPU and RAM throughout the video, as you can see in the right side corner. Let's check the version. So you get the 46.0 and the memory is almost 2.1 GB and cache is like a 4.2 GB. So I don't know whether the because of the running on the live boot or maybe the issue with the applications. 3 desktop environments are consuming a lot of resources, meaning that you need to install that on the hard disk to get the proper resources. So I'm not going to install anything on my virtual disk or a hard disk because I don't want to. So if you want to try it, you can try it and let me know in the comment section, so it will help other viewers too. So let's check the version we get in the Firefox. Help. So there is a lot of lag again. About Firefox, we get the 127.0.2 version. Let me type in about support. So Fedora Linux doesn't consume this much of CPU, and most of the Linux distros which are well known doesn't consume this much of resources. We need to install on the hard disk and we need to try that, so it's clearly up to you. So here is some of the information of the distro and the browser. Just pause the video and read everything on your own. So I'm not going to reading everything because it's going to make very lengthy. So usually showing the basic features will consume almost my videos will be like a 20 plus or 25 plus minutes video. So I don't want to make it even more lengthier. So here are some of the information like a window and all those things. You can see all the information right here just by pausing the video. So the desktop environment is GNOME. Let me show you that. So GNOME window protocol is Wayland. So you should be getting some information here. So let's type in the Nobara project as the search term in the search bar. Let me type it, Nobara, or else you can go with the Nobara Linux or Nobara project. I'm using a VPN, so that's the reason it says as changed to English. So this is the URL. You can just type in nobaraproject.org in the search bar to get directly to the website, or else you can type it the search term. So here is some of the information of a Nobara project. If you want, you can read everything. So here are some of the information, and let's go to the chain log. So here is the July 17, 2024 information, system updates, flatpaks and snaps. And here is the theming, desktop environments. The version will be getting GNOME desktop environment will be getting 46, KDE will be getting 6.1.1. XVL and video bridge has been removed, so you can go and check all the information about the graphics, game scope, and the gaming, current creation, content creation, about the OBS studios. So hardware support, miscellaneous changes. So here are some of the important information you can read on your own. So let's get back. Let's see what's the important updates. So I think here are some of the information. So it's from April, so we don't need it. So let's go with the downloads. So you should be getting 5 ISO files, which is official, the GNOME desktop, KDE, Steam, HTPC, and the Steam handheld. So you get the 5 options for the downloading of Nobara. So I already made the standard version and the standard or the official version. Here is the GNOME one. I'm doing the GNOME desktop environment right now, and I already made the KDE Plasma version. So we don't have anything other options here, so I'm not going to do that. So here is the NVIDIA. Please note that the NVIDIA ISO may take an extended period of time to boot. So here are some of the issues, and here are the ISO files. So I didn't try the NVIDIA one, so I only tried the default or the standard option. So maybe that's the case, I don't know. Here is the ISO file, and here is our. So you need to click on the download, agree, and here we have the downloads. So we got everything from the browser, so let me close it. Let's check what are the applications we get pre-installed. So these are all most of the from the GNOME desktop environment. So Inkscape is added, LibreOffice is added, and gedit, I guess. Here is the Fedora Media Writer, and OpenRGB, Proton Plus, and startup applications should be added. Nobara NVIDIA Wizard. Here is the Steam. Welcome to Nobara. Winetricks, and here is the update system, and here is the package manager. So I already showed everything in KDE Plasma desktop environment. So let's open the installer. So you don't see any changes in the installation, same in every desktop environment and same in almost every Linux distro because it's a Calamares installer. So first you need to choose your language. There are plenty of languages. Click on next. And here you get the locations. Choose your location by drop down menu, or you can choose the map. The system language will be set to American English, United States. If you want, you can customize according to your wish, or else you can just keep it like that. The numbers and dates locale will be set to American English, United States. Keep it default or change according to your wish. Let me click cancel. Click on next. Here is the keyboard. Choose your keyboard, choose your keyboard language and the variant. If you want to try to test your keyboard, you can try it. Here is the switch keyboard. Click on next. Here is the partitions. You should be seeing only erase disk and manual partitioning. And here you need to choose your hard disk if you have a multiple hard disk. If you are satisfied with the live boot and if you want to install it Nobara 40 on your main PC or work PC, you need to choose your hard disk here and choose the options whether the erase disk or the manual partitioning. I'm going to give you the small short information here. So erase disk is an option which will erase everything which is available in that specific disk where you choose the hard disk. So it's going to erase everything, even the media files, even the current operating system, and it's going to install only Nobara project on that specific hard disk or a virtual disk, whatever you choose here. So you need to understand how to install this Linux distro on the hard disk or a virtual disk. If you don't know how to install, you need to watch tutorials on the YouTube. There are tons of tutorials in there. So I already made a lot of videos on installing the Linux distro on the hard disk and a virtual disk, but I don't really remember in which video I installed because I almost covered 3000 videos. It's pretty much hard to point out in which Linux distro I installed. Plus my videos will be like a way lengthy because it will be in a more than detailed info. So that's the reason my videos will be like a 25-30 minutes. You don't need to wait and watch that much of lengthy videos. You can just watch 2 or 3 minutes tutorials of installation of Linux in the YouTube channels. Watch like a 5 to 6 videos. If you're satisfied, then go with the installation. So that was the erase disk. And with the manual partitioning, you need to create a partition before choosing this manual partitioning because you should be having two operating systems. So the current operating system which you are running and the created partition will be installed Nobara on that one. So that's the option of a manual partitioning and the erase disk. Choose whatever, and if you don't know, you need to watch those videos which I already mentioned. So after doing all those things, if you want to encrypt your system, you can provide the password which should be same in both the boxes. If you don't want, just keep it like that. And the next thing is bootloader location. The default version will be master boot record of a specific hard drive. So if you want to choose that one, you can do that. Do not install a bootloader. You can do that. If you're a pro, you can do that later. It's clearly up to you. After doing everything, click on next. Here is the username and all those things. You need to provide username, password, and all the computer name and all those things. So let me type in some random things. Let me type in my channel name, 9to5 Linux. Instead of EO, I typed in 0. Let me change it. So 9to5 Linux. What name do you want to use to log in? So if I type same 9to5 Linux, the numbers can't be used. So your username must start with a lowercase letter or undercase. You can't provide the number. So let me type in the alphabets. You can provide the numbers after the lowercase or uppercase like this, 1 2 3 like this. You can provide like that, but you can't use a first letter. A first character shouldn't be a number. So let me remove that. So if everything is good, you should be seeing a tick mark. So what is the name of this computer? If you want to keep Nobara, you can keep it, or else whatever name you want, you can keep it. Choose a password to keep your account safe. So let me type in some simple password. So here you can see a tick mark, so everything is good. So log in automatically without asking for the password. If you want, you can check this or uncheck this. Use the same password for the administrator account. You can choose it, or you can provide the different password. I'm going to keep that like that. So after clicking on next, you should be seeing a summary of everything you chose in the previous installation steps. So if everything is good, you need to click on install. If anything is wrong, you can just go back and fix everything. So after clicking on install, it's going to take like a 20-25 minutes to install, depends on the PC and depends on the ISO files. So if your ISO file is a stable version, then it will be installed properly and it will be installed very quickly. If it's like a beta version or a development version, you should be having some installation failed sometimes, because it's a development version or a beta version. You can't exactly say it will work properly. So that will be issues. So sometimes installation will be failed, not occasionally. It will be rare. It will be not regularly. It will be in a rare cases. So most of the beta version will be also good, but sometimes we can't exactly say what happens with the development or beta version, because they should be having some bugs. So that's the reason I'm mentioning that. So that was the installation process. I'm not going to install because I need to make another video. So let's check some desktop features. So there is an updates in the YAM extender. So if you want to open the YAM extender, so these are all the resources. So it's going to take a few minutes. In KDE and KDE themed version, it took some minutes, so I'm going to keep it like that. So you have the GNOME desktop environment, so you should be seeing all the GNOME desktop features. Everything is same. So let's go with the settings and see anything changes in the GNOME settings. So you see all the basic things, there is nothing different here. So the network same, Bluetooth is not available or not found. So displays, here is my display. You can scale, you don't get a fractional scaling. Refresh rate 60 Hz. Here is the display resolution. Here is the multitasking. And the appearance, it should take like a few seconds here. So the appearance will take a few seconds. So we need to wait and see how much of wallpapers there are. So I don't think there is nothing added from the Nobara Linux. So most of them or all of them are from the GNOME desktop environment. So let's go to the apps. And here are some of the apps. You can go and change things here, like app details, notification. Let's go with the notifications. You can turn off the notifications. Here is the search. Online accounts, you can provide your online account. Here is the sharing. Mouse and touchpad, you can change natural or traditional. Mouse acceleration, primary button. Here is the keyboard. You can customize your shortcuts and all those things. So here are the shortcuts. You can customize everything of the keyboard. And here is the color, the printers, accessibility. You can zoom. These are all same things, so it's a waste of time, I think. So privacy and security. Always turn off location and cameras and microphone also. Only turn it on when you are using. Most of the cases you should be turning off. That's a tip from me. So here is the information. Linux kernel, virtual machine, which is VMware, VLAN, GNOME, and here is some of the information. Let's close it. So it's still taking a bit of time. So let's open the terminal and let's try to type in some commands. Let's see and get some information. So here we have the updates. Let's check the version of a YAM extender. Here is the version. Here is the Flatpaks. Here are queues. Let me close it. Let's check the terminal version. Here is the version. Let me type in INXI. Hit enter. So let me try to change the color so you can see properly. Let me change the dark style to light style so you can see properly. So let me type in another command, which is inxi-b and hit enter. So here is some of the information. Just pause the video and read everything. INXI dash capital F. So it's going to take a few seconds and you should be getting all the information. INXI dash capital G. Let me type in cat /etc /issue. Hit enter. Neofetch. Here is the Neofetch. INXI -SV8. So you pretty much got every information of the distro. So you can just pause the video and read complete information, and you can be easily guessing all the changes from the previous version and the stable version, which is this version. So you got all the information here. Let me close it. So I don't think anything is left here, I guess. We saw everything. So the system resources through the video was right in front of you. It's clearly up to you to whether to use this Linux version or not. So I showed everything. So let me keep it like that. Let me open all the applications which consumes a bit of resources to see we get any errors or mistakes. Not the mistakes, errors or like pop-ups or any bugs or anything like that. So let me try to open a bit of resource consuming applications. So there is no bloatware or anything like that, just basic applications are added, nothing more added in the GNOME desktop environment. Not only GNOME desktop environment, so there is nothing added in the KDE and the KDE themed Nobara project. So that's a good thing, you don't get any bloatware or anything like that. So let me open some applications. So here is a Goverlay. Let's see what it is. So here are some of the applications. Let me open Proton Plus also. So I think we pretty much opened everything. So Steam is not installed, we need to download everything. So when you click on Steam, it's going to download, or maybe it's downloaded already, I don't know. Let me see that. So let's see what else we have here. So the desktop environment is GNOME 46. Most of the applications will be GNOME 46. So let me open the Nobara package manager. So it's updating, it's going to take some time. So let's check the system resource now and see how much of resources it's consuming. So the GNOME version is consuming a bit of less resources, and the RAM is almost 3.4 GB. So if you have like a 2 GB of RAM, you need to watch the system requirements in the official website, or you need to find information in the Google. So I have like a 8 GB of RAM and I have like a i5 1240p. So these are all the resources, and I'm running it on the live boot. You need to understand that also. So these are all the processes running right now after opening a few applications. So as you can see, I can switch the applications, I can move the applications. So there is no lag or any error found or any bugs popped out. So nothing happened. So that's a good sign. So welcome, here is my FPS, CPU, GPU. Let me close it. Here is the OpenRGB. Let me close it. Nobara package manager is not responding, so we have some pop-up here. I need to wait and see. So it should take some time, I guess. Let's check the LibreOffice version. Here is the version. So I think that's the latest version. Here is the Steam. Let's check the version. It's a Proton Plus version 0.4.10. I think Steam still isn't loaded, I guess. Let me see this Steam. So it's still trying to set it up. So I don't want to wait for that. So here is a global 1.10. Let me close it. Let's try to see the Inkscape version, which is 1.3.2. Thanks, new document. We need to close the application. Here are some of the packages in the Nobara. I'm going to show that also. So these are all the packages available. Just pause the video, or you can change the playback speed to see everything in a slow-mo. Flatpaks, queue, which I already showed the version also. Here is theme updating, so I don't want to. Here is the tweaks, customize according to your wish. Sound, mouse and touchpad, keyboard, windows, startup applications. So these are all the tweaks. If you want, you can customize. Here is the software manager or a app store. Here are the updates. Here you can customize by going to preference. Here are keyboard shortcuts and software repositories. So it's going to take a few seconds. I think we pretty much covered everything. So it's going to take a few seconds. I don't want to wait for that. So you get the same app store or a software manager. So I'm going to close this. And at the end of the video, these are all the resources. So there is memory went low and the CPU is almost 30%. So the KDE version was taking a lot of resources, but in this case it's taking a bit of low resources, so that's pretty much good work. So I showed all the 3 ISO files or the 3 desktop environments, which is KDE themed and the plain KDE and the GNOME desktop environment of Nobara 40. So I completed all those videos. So it's clearly up to you to choose whatever desktop you want, and whatever the desktop environment you want to test or install. So I'm going to end the video here because we pretty much covered everything. So here is the light style and the dark style, and let's see the logout screen and end the video. So there is already a video of KAOS Linux, which is 2024.07. I already posted it. If you want to check that out, you can check it out in my channel. So I'll be posting 2 videos daily, so if you want to subscribe, you can subscribe. So here is the logout screen. Nothing changed here, everything same from the GNOME desktop environment, just the Nobara logo. So thanks for watching, peace out.